Playing a solo where you just jam a whole bunch of ideas together is kind of like having a conversation where all the topics you're talking about are completely unrelated. At a certain point, it just doesn't make sense. So if you're at the point with your soloing where it's like, I can play some ideas, but they either just sound like the melody and they're too simplistic, or they sound like a garbled mess, then it might be time for you to finally start focusing on phrasing. So what is phrasing? Phrasing is kind of like musical sentences, right? So if licks or ideas are like musical words, then phrasing is how you put those licks and ideas together. Just like how in English you have like a noun and a verb, and that's a structure that makes sense, and there's an adjective and a predicate and past tense. It's the same thing for music. You have phrasing. You have long phrases, short phrases, phrases that have gaps and rest, and phrases that are more continuous, okay? But if you haven't practiced phrasing, you need to start by instilling it in your body so that you have good muscle memory to where you know how long your phrases are even without thinking of them, okay? So the way I like to do this with my students in the jazz school is by using this kind of 3-step process, okay? The first step is what I call weightlifting, okay? It's internalizing how to play certain lengths of phrases. Not because we're gonna like count exactly like that way, but because just like, you know, if a soccer player does squats in the gym so that their legs are stronger, then when they go to the soccer field, they're not gonna like do squats on the soccer field. They're just gonna play soccer better because their legs are stronger. That's what we're gonna do with this first phrase, okay? So first we're gonna start by playing 1-bar phrases, something like this. Here's a 1-bar phrase. Right, here's another 1-bar phrase. Here's another 1-bar phrase. Right? And then you start going like, can I play 8 1-bar phrases in a row? That way you can really feel like a 1-bar phrase. It feels like, huh? It doesn't matter what I play in there, right? This isn't about vocabulary, but that phrase length, I can internalize it, okay? Then you go to 2-bar phrases, okay? So something like this. Right? Or, right? Then you say, can I play 4 2-bar phrases in a row? Something like this. Right? You see how those feel longer. Right? I'm really generalizing so you can get the feel of that. Next step, 4-bar phrases, something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Really tempting here to play 2 2-bar phrases to add up to 4, but you see what I did there is I played over the bar line so you can't feel where that 3rd bar is, something like this. Right? I'm obscuring the phrase so that it feels like a long 4-bar phrase. It's like if I had a run-on sentence with no comma in it. Now here's the thing. It's all well and good to be able to play a 1-bar phrase, a 2-bar phrase, a 4-bar phrase, but imagine if your solo is just that. 1-bar phrase, 1-bar phrase, 1-bar phrase, 1-bar phrase, 1-bar phrase. The real magic is in being able to switch between phrases fluidly. A 1-bar phrase, a 2-bar phrase, a 4-bar phrase, an 8-bar phrase, and then back to a 1-bar phrase, right? That's how we speak when we speak our native language, okay? So to do this, what we're gonna do is phase 2, which I call map, right? This is where we create a little obstacle course for ourselves to see if we can switch between 1-bar phrases, 2-bar phrases, these different phrase lengths without even thinking, okay? So I'm gonna pull out the iPad here and we're gonna make ourselves a little map. Okay, so let's imagine we're playing over a 32-bar form, okay? And in this 32-bar form, for the first 8 bars, the first A section, I'm gonna play 8 1-bar phrases, okay? And then for the next A section, the next 8 bars, I'm gonna play 2 2-bar phrases and then 1 longer 4-bar phrase, okay? And then for the B section, I'm gonna try to play 1 long 8-bar phrase, okay? That's gonna be an 8-bar phrase without stopping, okay? And then when we come back to the last A section, I'm gonna go back to that 2, 2, 4 that we did in the past, okay? So you can see this is kind of an obstacle course. I'm gonna be switching back and forth a lot. Let's see what happens. So I made it. It's quite the obstacle course. And once you do that, you're gonna feel confident switching between all these phrase lengths. Now here's the thing. You need to know vocabulary to put in those phrases, right? We're just talking about phrasing here. We're just talking about sentence structure. If you don't know words, this is gonna be really hard. And if you're somebody who wants to really become a complete jazz musician, you're gonna need a lot of things. Vocabulary, phrasing, technique, harmony, melody, style. You gotta learn tunes. And that's why with my students at the jazz school, we work on all of those things. So if you're really serious about becoming a complete jazz musician and you want some mentorship, some guidance, and community along the way, click the link in the description to get more information about applying for the mentorship at the jazz school. Now, you're probably thinking, I just did this crazy map, it's this obstacle course, I did the weight training for phrasing, but do I really have to think that much when I solo? Like, it's already hard enough. I'm already overthinking when I'm playing, and that's why things aren't coming out smoothly. And the answer is no, I don't want you to think that much. I want it to be comfortable. I want it to be smooth. I want it to flow. I want it to feel natural. And that's why phase 3 is the absolute most important phase, okay? So just like the soccer player who did the weightlifting, when he gets out on the field, he just plays. He just thinks about the ball going into the net or passing to his teammate, right? And that's the same thing for you, is when you go to solo, phase 3 is just play. Don't think about phrasing. You already did the training to get the phrasing internalized into your body and to practice switching back and forth. When you go to solo, you have to trust yourself that all that hard work that you did, it's gonna come out naturally when you play. So just don't even think about your phrasing. Just see what phrasing comes out and have fun playing. I'm gonna give that a go. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So if you follow all these steps correctly, not only will your ideas make sense, but they'll actually flow and come out naturally, and it'll make it easier for you to just relax, be in the moment, and enjoy the music you're playing. So if you found this video interesting, click here to watch another video I made about how to play longer solos without getting lost in the form. See ya.